My next encounter happened just 3 days later, and unfortunately for me, it wasn't nearly as tame as my run-in with Clarissa. I found myself in the common area of my floor, studying for an upcoming exam. Yeah, I had my first exam in my third week of college. Ridiculous? Absolutely. But honestly, I expected nothing less from a school as strange as Sutherland. I pushed myself to stay up cramming well into the night. Normally, I'd keep the academics to my dorm room, but Josh had a girl over, so that meant I had to make other arrangements. After a couple hours, I could feel my eyelids growing heavy, but that wasn't anything a little caffeine couldn't fix, right? I sipped intermittently from my Red Bull, trying to soak in as much information as I could. But at some point, I must have drifted off to sleep. My eyes shot open. I yawned, stretching my arms over my head. How long was I out for? I thought to myself, tapping my phone screen. My heart plummeted into my toes when I read the time it displayed. 2:12 a.m. No, 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 this can't be happening. I didn't even bother gathering my study materials. I bolted to my room as the lights began to flicker. I frantically searched my pockets until I came to a nauseating realization I'd forgotten my student hide. In the room. That was my only way in. Josh? Josh, open the damn door. I shrieked at the top of my lungs, futilely pounding my fists against the hard wooden exterior. But Josh didn't hear me. I glanced to my left, and I nearly passed out when I drank in the scene before me. The lights were going out one by one, pitch black darkness growing closer and closer with every blown bulb. It was like a cloud, one that swallowed up any surrounding light and snuffed it out. And in the midst of that endless black void, two glowing, hungry eyes. That was it. I couldn't wait around on the off chance that Josh might wake up. I darted to the exit at the end of the hall, praying that the janitor, or whatever the hell that thing was, wouldn't catch up to me. I slammed my weight into the door, and it didn't budge. I tried again and again, but my attempts were fruitless. Dread swallowed me up. Someone had locked us in. I flew to the door closest to me, screaming at the top of my lungs, praying that by some miracle I wouldn't end up like that student again. The darkness was closing in. There were only 5 light bulbs left between me and it. 5, 4, 3. The entity was so close that it could almost reach out and grab me. I squeezed my eyes shut, expecting to be yanked into a sea of black at any moment, never to be seen again. And then it happened. I was dragged backward by the collar of my shirt. I curled up into a ball, waiting for razor-sharp claws to dig into my flesh. But they never did. To my utter shock, when I opened my eyes, I wasn't shrouded by some dark, malevolent haze of doom. No, it was bright. I hesitantly glanced up. Bryson stood above me, arms crossed. By the look on his face, I could tell that he was not happy to see me. "You didn't read the rules, did you?" he growled, his spiteful stare unwavering. I did, I swear." I managed to croak out. "You obviously didn't if the janitor almost turned you into minced meat." "No, wait. It was Josh, wasn't it? He didn't explain the rules to you. That fucking asshole. Trying to make me look like the bad guy. Next time I see that stupid prick, I'm gonna smash his damn teeth in." Bryson's face was redder than a fire engine. I could practically see the steam wafting from his ears. Actually, it was my own fault. I was studying for an exam, and I must have nodded off in the common area. "My bad," I confessed, rubbing the back of my neck. "Oh no, I'm not believing that for a second. If you were really studying, then where are your textbooks? Or at least some notes from class? Are you telling me that you were going over the lecture in your mind? Is that it?" I sighed, remembering my abandoned spiral and chemistry textbook. I left my stuff behind. I wasn't thinking, I admitted, averting my gaze. Ha! That's a good $95 down the drain. Sorry to break it to you, but the janitor isn't a huge fan of literature, Bryson snickered. He looked almost pleased with himself, like he'd just told the funniest joke anyone had ever heard. Damn. That really sucks, I muttered dejectedly. There went all my alcohol savings for the semester. Shit happens. Here, get off the ground. You can sleep in my room tonight. We won't be able to leave for over an hour, Bryson offered, extending a hand. I gladly accepted it as he hoisted me up. Thanks, man. Geez, you get this whole room to yourself? I asked, surveying my surroundings. It was at least double the size of my own room, complete with a kitchenette and 2 full-sized beds. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit envious. Yeah. The other RA for our floor dropped out last week. The sheets are clean, if that's what you're worried about. No, I was just wondering. This is good, I replied, plopping onto the bed. I instantly melted into the mattress like butter in a frying pan. Turning out the lights. Night, Bryson said, plunging the room into darkness. Night, and thanks for saving me. I was just doing my job. Don't start to think you're something special. I tried my best to drift off to sleep. In a bed that comfortable, it should have been a piece of cake. But something was gnawing at my brain. A little voice in the back of my head that was itching to know more about my savior. A voice that I should have ignored. Hey, Bryson, you still awake? I whispered. I felt giddy, like a child at a slumber party. What? Well, that was rude. I was just wondering something. I mean, if that's okay. I get it if you. Just spit it out already, damn. I'm trying to get some shut-eye. Right. Sorry. Why do you wear the same clothes all the time? Every time I see you, you're wearing the same black shirt and ripped jeans. Nothing wrong with it, just curious. A long and comfortable silence followed. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. I was seriously beginning to regret asking. I can't tell you. I furrowed my brows. He couldn't tell me. But why? It's okay, man. No judgment, Just drop it. All right? Yeah. Sorry. I drifted off, feeling completely unsatisfied. I still got the sense that something was up with Bryson, and now that I had him alone, I couldn't get a single peep out of him. Still, I wasn't going to throw in the towel. I was determined to get to the bottom of it. Looking back now, I probably should have left him alone. I awoke the next day feeling refreshed. That cushy mattress really worked wonders. I stretched my arms above my head and yawned. Morning, Bryson. Oh, I glanced over to Bryson's empty bed. It suddenly felt like I was doing something wrong, like I was trespassing in a restricted area. I leapt up and threw on my socks and shoes. I nearly beelined for the door, but I stopped dead in my tracks halfway there. My eyes landed on a note glaring at me from the kitchen counter. Steal anything and I'll gut you like a fish. You're welcome for saving your sorry ass. Damn. Straight to the point. Best to be on my way before. Wait. An idea flickered to life in my head. A devilish grin inched across my face as I turned away from the door. I had a few minutes to spare before I needed to get ready for class. And Bryson never told me not to snoop. I began surveying the room. If I was hiding something, where would I do it? Though it was bigger than my own room, there still weren't many places to stash evidence. Not to mention, Bryson kept things clean as a whistle. That in itself had left me gobsmacked. I'd thought his room would have been filthier than a pigsty. I zeroed in on the first place anyone would think of under the bed. I wasn't really expecting to find anything. I mean, it was only a hunch. Bryson could have just been an eccentric kid who had a fetish for wearing the same smelly clothes every day, for all I knew. But aside from all the cobwebs and candy wrappers, I did manage to find something of interest while fishing around under there. A scrapbook. Who keeps scrapbooks anymore? These things are ancient, I murmured, sitting crisscross applesauce as I flipped open the cover. Dozens of photographs greeted me. Most of them were grainy, and I could tell that they were probably taken with a cheap Polaroid camera. I carefully slid one out of its sleeve and inspected it closer. My eyes grew wide as dinner plates when I fully soaked in its contents. The photograph depicted three young men with their arms thrown around each other and huge grins stamped on their faces. All of them appeared to be around our age. Their clothes and hairstyles were all outdated, though. One of them even had frosted tips. Underneath the picture, written in black marker, was a caption that read, "Jerry, Randall, and Bryson, fall 1998.